Welcome to the Judgment Free Zone. You've downloaded the Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast, episode 19 for August 15th, 2022.
Now adjust the volume control so that the sound can be heard in all parts of the room.
Recorded live from the cornfields of Central Illinois, you're listening to the Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast with Matt and Amy. Come and learn and share a journey with two former craft beer enthusiasts who went from daily drinkers to teetotalers and basically never lost their love for their life together.
Hey, a freak show!
Well, hello there, children. Welcome to your weekly freak show that is the Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast. We are here, finally, after technical difficulties.
What, like 25 minutes?
I don't know. You know what? Don't get me started. I said as we were setting up, I'm like, oh, I can't wait, because we're getting ready to soon, hopefully, have a podcast studio location, so we don't have to set all this stuff up and take it all down. None of that would have made what I just ran into any better. So
no, but
thank you, Apple.
It's okay.
But
right?
Alas, good news for you listeners. There's going to be a new song at the end, so stick around. Now Amy wants to change the song at the beginning, so now I'm just causing myself all kinds of.
Oh, that'll be perfect for episode 20, since this is episode 19. You did. You said it was 19.
No, did I say Coach Amy? How are you, my love?
No, you did not say that. Is that on the script?
Well,
here?
you know why? Because we missed a week, Amy.
We did.
We did miss a week. We'll
and
get to
hate that we did that.
Yes, but we had to make an executive decision. But we'll get to the stay tuned for the reason why we missed a week. It was quite the reason. But summer is over.
Yeah.
School is starting. Mm-hmm. The boys move back to school, which means the house stays a little cleaner because we don't have an extra person destroying it all the time, which is nice.
Yes.
Are you sad summer's over? Are you ready for the? Are you ready for the fall? You're probably ready. You're ready for fall, y'all, aren't you?
I am so ready for fall, y'all.
You just bought a fall candle yesterday.
I love me some fall, y'all. I love fall. So
I love summer.
We have Labor Day, and we go to the parade, and I immediately take down all of my red, white, and blue, and
put up pumpkins. About a day after Labor Day,
or the next weekend.
Should we go get mums?
We should this year. I'm so tired of waiting because we always wait, and then guess what? They die at the same time, anyways.
I don't know. Tell you about that.
I don't know. Well, anyways, before we get this all started, remember you can go and sign up for our free 5 o'clock somewhere alcohol-free edition. And what you will receive is our 7 tips for taking a break from alcohol. You'll receive top tips that have helped Matt and me when we took a 30-day break from alcohol. The importance of your why, how keeping the ritual and replacing the ingredients works, our top visualization tactic.
Ooh, big word for you today.
I hate big words. Why community and mindset matter. My top favorite sober podcasts and Quitlet, and our top tip for an individual or a couple trying to quit together or separately. So you can go to my website at joyontheotherside.com.
Good job.
And you can sign up for it. So just
and
want to
there'll be a link in the show notes, kids. So
there will be.
So Coach Amy, what is your drink of the week?
Oh, we are just jumping around.
I don't know. I didn't make a lot of welcome notes. So
do I need to put this somewhere they can see it? Okay.
Well, because on the video, on the YouTubes, you'll get the little swoosh swoosh thing that shows us. Like, what are you drinking for the people who aren't watching the YouTubes? It
is. I'm gonna say it's
Untitled Art.
Yes,
which is very good to begin with.
Lychee.
We have a lot of challenge words this week
Sherbet.
in the drinks of the week.
It's super good.
Spell that for those not watching.
Lychee. Sherbet.
If you're in the cornfields, it's Lychee Sherbet.
It's really good.
It's probably Lychee or Lychee.
Yeah, probably is. I don't know. It tastes wonderful, though.
Yes, it is very good. Anything from Untitled Art is pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of challenge words, this whole thing is a challenge word. Since it's German and I took Spanish class, it's Krombacher. That would probably be right. Speaking of Midwest accents, a Krombacher Weizen. And apparently in German, it's sans alcohol.
I don't know.
Sans alcohol. No alcohol. So it's a Weizen. I don't know what the hell that means.
Well, we'll be looking that up. Guess we
I
should
guess I
have.
should have poured it in a glass. I don't even know what color it is. So
It's an amber color.
good guess. Aren't you glad you tuned into this?
There you go, everybody.
information-packed,
But anyways,
we do our research around here, kids.
Yes, we do. Actually, we look at the bottles and we're like, hey, that looks kind of good.
Pretty soon we need to start writing
Packaging
them down.
is what we like.
That is true.
We
It's
love
though.
a
It's
good
solid.
package.
It's a solid beer. Of course, I haven't drank beer in so long, I might not even know what it really tastes like.
Yes. So
Do you have other housekeeping info before we get
no,
into
I think
the
we're
story of
good. I
this-
think
the-
why we did not do a podcast last week.
Well, if you're watching the YouTubes, you'll get to see a 17-second video of this because the security camera recorded it. But we went to a band concert.
It was a perfect evening.
It was
Matt.
lovely.
It was a lovely evening. We went to the end of band camp concert. And it was great music. Kids were wonderful. Our oldest is home from college, finishing up at the time his internship. So he went, and it was just great.
And I was on the way home. He rode home with his sister.
Yes.
We're coming home. I'm like, oh, it's 8:30. It's time to, or 8 o'clock, whatever. I'm like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to relax, have a little ice cream before bed, blah, blah, blah. We get home, and there's a commotion about
we
the
come
house.
onto a scene where our basketball hoop
Is no longer
is down.
upright. The whole hoop is
It's
post
just
and
the whole
everything.
post is all down. Our son is crippled, bent over, not talking. And when he is talking, he's
He's kind of doing almost like the Tim Tebow.
yeah,
sit
he's like
thing.
all
Yeah.
over. We had not seen it. Our daughter is just standing there like what just happened? And we get out of the car. And if you watch the video, people are like, why did Maggie not do anything? Well,
didn't know
first I was 17 seconds, and we got home and we did the same thing. We're like,
What is going on
what
here?
happened? And we're just standing there.
In true father fashion, I checked the car first to be sure it didn't hit the car when it came down. The car was fine, so then I addressed the boy.
Well, but it came down and there were wasps inside it. So
Oh, yeah,
you
then
had to address that, and you got
Then
stung
I
by
got
a
stung by a
wasp.
wasp. That was fun.
So my daughter ran in. Our son did get up. He went inside. As I'm going in, our daughter yells, "Mom, you need to come." And I go in, and Luke looks like a corpse sitting on our couch. And
Slurring his speech.
yeah, he's just not making sense. Going, I am concussed. I'm concussed. I'm concussed. Which he was
He
right.
was technically correct, yes.
And but then he started acting goofy. He tried to get up, and you know when people are making sense but they're not making sense. This was him. He's trying to go up the steps. You're not in the house.
He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have bad
trying
head
to get
acne."
him to come down the steps, like not fall down, because he almost did fall down. We get him checked in. We just like, okay, we got to go. We take him to the hospital. And this is about, I think we got to the hospital
About 8:30.
8:30. And
So the point of this story is
it was
the
horrible.
punchline.
He stayed the whole weekend in the hospital. He is going to recover. He's fine. He's
he ended up
headed
with
back.
partial collapse of lungs on both sides, a hole in his bronchial tube that caused air around his heart, a whole litany of fun.
So it was very serious.
But the question, Amy, is not drinking during a crisis.
Yeah, but that's why we did not have.
That's why I always say
Yeah, we were just like, we could not put it all together. We were still,
like, oh, we should. I'm like, that's not. No.
and we usually do this on a Sunday, and it was just way too much.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what?
We're just like, we're going to take a break, and it's okay.
Our 9 listeners will understand.
Yeah,
It'll be okay.
and none of you reached out, so I guess you didn't miss us.
Probably because most of the listeners, if they know us, they
Yeah, they probably already saw it. So,
and it wouldn't be the first time we temporarily pod faded, so that's okay.
yeah. So, anyways, that happened. He's fine. He's already headed back to school. He cannot weightlift
For 3 months.
for 3 months.
And when you're a weightlifter like him, that's sad.
I'm like, fingers crossed that he does listen to that for a
But it got
full
us
3
talking
months.
on one of our walks about
Yes.
about what if we had been drinking, like hadn't quit drinking, we're still drinking. Like, how would we have reacted to that? What would have been our mindset?
Yeah, and the anxiety and the stress around the whole
Because-
event, because it was very stressful.
Right. And given that scenario, normally I probably would have had a drink or two before we left, and then I would have been primed and ready to have a drink when we got home, and then that would have interrupted that whole flow.
Well, and also when you think about how the alcohol comes out of your body and is being processed, you would have been coming home, as you said, ready, because all of your stress chemicals have been released and you're wanting to dampen those down
With more
alcohol. And that would have been, it would have been a high anxiety, even more so than it was.
Right. And then once I'm in the ER, I probably would have had to find I would have had to find a reason to leave to go find a drink or go to the bar or something, which just continues that whole cycle. And we didn't get done till like 2 a.m.
Yeah, it was
doesn't bode well for trying to
and then
drink.
I had to be back. That next day we took shifts.
Yeah. But you were back at like 7 o'clock?
I think 7:30.
Yeah. So anyway, gotta get up early, and if you're
So I had a nap.
yeah. So the alcohol wouldn't have helped there.
Yeah, so then you have all that, that anxiety and everything, and just being able to be clear and present in all of it.
Well, I wrote down some tips prior to your tips, Amy.
Oh, okay.
That
Let's read your tips.
Benefits
for
of
mindfulness.
not drinking during a crisis, as it were. Ability to drive the vehicle.
Yes.
Which, luckily, we were driving, so I probably would have been okay anyway. But but then you're responsible for others, and you're going to have to make important decisions. So you want to be in the right mindset to make health medical decisions. Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Well, I want to be in a frame of mind that I'm making the correct or a sound, if not correct, a sound judgment.
Yes.
And then you also, as we realize, you need to act quickly. And if you're in a not prime state, you're not probably going to move as briskly.
Or you'll be just more panicked.
True.
And you've noticed that even in stressful situations, I'm calmer now.
Yes.
Because you even said, I fell down.
You did something.
I fell down one day on my way to work, and
Because Amy's prone to this.
I do that.
Nothing is wrong. She just falls.
I fell down, and I jumped up, and I came back in the house with my cup of coffee, or did you have
It
to?
was coffee because all over the garage floor.
Yes, and I'm like, I'm not cleaning that up. I came in, I made myself a new cup of coffee, and I'm like, I'm leaving now. And you
But
were
it
like,
allows you to take it in stride, right?
yes, I did.
Right.
And in the past, I would have blown up. I would have been
Right.
upset. Quick
Right.
fuse, didn't do that.
Well, and in Luke's scenario, right, we probably would have had that same reaction. Well, we would have obviously helped him. In the back of your mind, be like, you're interrupting. Like, I was going to have a drink. Now I can't have my drink. I want my drink. Right? In my head, that's how I think.
I know that. No,
Right.
we have to use both speak. I wouldn't have said that.
I wouldn't have said it out loud.
No.
No,
Okay.
in my head.
Yes.
No,
Okay. I'm like going,
I'm not that big of an a-hole. No.
but
No, in my head, I'd be thinking,
I think you would also be like, or you would be thinking like me, oh my gosh, we got to go to the hospital. I can't have a drink because I can't have alcohol in my breath.
right. And they frown upon bringing alcohol into the hospital.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Just a little.
Unless it's already in your body when you get there. But
Yeah. So, but anyways, it really did go a lot smoother than it could have, because when you came in, you're like, well, maybe you can just take him to the hospital. Like we would just divide and conquer.
Right.
And I looked at you and I was like, Luke was like visibly like shaking. And I looked down and my hands were shaking. I go, I can't drive.
The reason I didn't want to is because I knew any trip to the hospital at a minimum is going to be 3 to 4 hours. I'm like, I wasn't wanting to drink. I was wanting to go to bed. We were up till 2 a.m. When's the last time we stayed up till 2 a.m? I can't even remember. I'm sure it was back in our drinking days, but even that would have been.
And just that whole experience, because the whole evening he was getting better. Like he was like, when he left, you would have never ever known that he had been in this serious of an accident.
If you didn't scan him, you never know.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And being able to, I think it was like 12:30 when they came in, and we thought that they were going to release us, and they're like, oh yeah,
bad news.
that scan is showing something.
Like crap.
Yeah, to be able to go, oh, okay,
And
this is serious.
Actually, it would have been easier if it had been just like a broken rib, because they just wrap your chest and send you out the door.
Not if your lung is collapsed.
Well, if it only been a broken
Yeah.
rib.
But he's great. He's
Yeah.
terrific. He's good. And then you fast forward into this week. So that's why we didn't do that. And then we continue on the fun with medical and our children. Our daughter had a scheduled
Wisdom
teeth removal on Thursday, the day before her birthday, her 18th birthday. Sorry, honey.
Happy birthday.
And, just also being present for her in that moment, because what was shocking for me, maybe it was just coming off seeing Luke like that. When I went into her in the recovery, I've never seen her like this because she's never had to go and been in an emergency scenario. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, she looked like she had just been beaten up. Her eye,
She's
her
like
poor
staring
eyes
off
were
into
like,
the distance and then some. Right.
And, but being able to help her to be able to stay calm during that.
Well, not be hungover or tired.
Yeah. And
or
being
whatever,
there,
trying to cover.
for all of it, being just completely present
Well,
and
and even
not
to that
even
point-
having any anxiety at all, being able to be like, okay, you know what? This sucks. I feel bad for her. What can I do to help her? How can we, get her through the next couple of days? And today she is feeling much better.
But
Still
even in
pain.
the evenings, we're not drinking, but if you start drinking in the evening, she just had that. You got to be cognizant of what medicine she's supposed to take. Has she taken it? Don't give her too much of the medicine. I don't know, all that good stuff. So it just makes it all easier. And then come morning time, you remember what you did yesterday to help her too. So,
True story.
and if something went, I'm not sure what could go tragically south on a wisdom teeth, but something could. And then,
Oh my gosh. When I was signing her in, all of the different scenarios that can go wrong with wisdom teeth removal, I don't know if I just didn't bother reading it when Luke
probably not sure.
did.
Go ahead.
Well, you know what? He was 18 though. So
Oh, so he would've
he
signed it.
probably read it and signed it.
It's true. Yep.
I did. And so it was just me reading it going, oh my gosh, should we really do this? This is crazy. So, but yeah, along with this though, because when we were in the hospital, our son was having some moments of being very anxious.
Right.
And so this kind of leads us into also being mindful and being present in the moment. And so I was able to okay, let's get in touch with your breath. Deep breaths in.
Help him find his
Be
help him find his zen.
calm. Just concentrate on your breathing, which was really good when they put him on the
O2.
more oxygen.
Yeah.
It was just
you didn't have to hardly breathe yourself at all.
yeah. So, but yeah. So we were going to.
But maybe what? But you have a tactic. 'cause
Yes, we were gonna. I was gonna.
For those who
take
are
us in that.
maybe perhaps especially new to the stop drinking world, that first 30 days or even longer. I mean, the first time for everything sparks new thoughts, right? And this was probably one of our first medical things since we quit, I think. Big medical things.
Oh yeah.
I mean, ER visits for sure.
Yeah.
And it's always a new thing. It's like, but I don't remember myself being like, oh, I need to go have a drink. I wanted to go to bed because I was tired, but I didn't ever feel like I needed a drink. But what are some tactics, maybe, if you've been not drinking forever? I think some of these tactics are probably even good, even if you are still drinking, but just
for
in general.
this, I want to just take you through, what is mindfulness? According to Webster's dictionary, mindfulness is the quality and state of being mindful. The practice of maintaining a non-judgmental state of heightened or complete awareness of one's thoughts, emotions, or experiences on a moment-to-moment basis. So you want to just be present, and a way to get yourself back into the present and in practicing mindfulness is think of the acronym STOP. So
Stop. S-T-O-P. Stop.
S-T-O-P, stop. Whatever you're doing,
Collaborate and listen. Take a breath.
take a breath. Just pause momentarily. T,
Wait, so S is what?
stop. Stop what you're doing. Pause. Just pause. Just take it. Just
Okay.
clear. Then take a breath. It's T. Take a breath.
Like a deep breath.
Reconnect with your breath.
Okay.
The breath is an anchor to the present moment. So you just inhale and you're connecting with now.
And there's a lot of science stuff around
Oh my gosh.
the whole breathing or deep breathing or.
I mean, we can go back. Your mom is definitely one. She'll say, stop, take a deep breath.
Oh. When I was little, she'd always be like, take a deep breath.
Yeah, take a deep breath. I remember we were on a trip. Amy, we were going down. We were in the mountains or going down the hills or something. Oh,
No, it's the mountains with the no guardrail thing. Yeah.
Yes, going down. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Amy, it's okay. Stop, breathe. It's all right. Take big, deep breath. So the next letter is O, observe. Notice what is happening. What is happening inside of you, outside of you. Where is your mind gone? How do you feel? What are you doing right now? Just get into, start asking yourself questions. And that kind of slows everything down too. Like, am I okay? Am I okay?
But what I do, my answer is just, I'm anxious. I figured that out. Okay, I'm breathing. I'm anxious.
Take a deep breath again.
Just keep breathing.
Well, no, seriously. So then P is proceed. Continue doing what you are doing or don't. Use the information gained during this check-in to either change your course or continue to what you're doing, but do it, once again, do it fully present and be mindful in the moment.
Like says here, something that will support you in the moment. So do something productive that will support, right?
Well, or yeah, it can be that. But if it's like, say you're having a moment of being anxious, just being like, you feel the anxiety in your body. And if you do this, okay, what's going on? All right, where am I feeling this in my body? Okay, I'm feeling it in my chest. Okay, take a deep breath in. All right, let's let that move through my body. Just concentrate on that, on your breath, and then feeling that sensation in your body and letting it move through you. Because if you're sitting here and you're like, okay, I'm anxious, and quit saying you're anxious.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
Because when you say you're anxious, it makes your brain go, oh my gosh, we're anxious. We're anxious. So
I can see that. Yeah.
So just take that breath in and just be like, okay, I'm gonna calm myself down and just.
And what did they say? You always told me what anxious feeling.
You're anxious.
Like anxiety, like the anxiety to have a drink or something is like the same as the excitement of like going on a vacation or something like.
Well, if you're anxious, so just say you're anxious, like leaving alcohol out of it.
Okay.
Anxiousness and that feeling for me resonates like in my chest, right up in here, in my neck, like I'm in this thing. But anticipation for me resonates in that same part of your body. Yes. What'd I say?
Resonate, not
Resonates. I have the worst time, people, with words and pronunciation.
Great podcasters, hard time with
I
words.
know it's horrible. I'm sorry, everybody, but so it resigns, right?
No, resonates. I think that's what you're.
Okay. Anyways, it lives in the same part of your body, right?
This is not the Grammar Girl podcast.
No,
clearly.
it is not.
Okay, but it's in your chest.
But it's in your chest. And so if you can, and I did this, focus on that it's joyful anticipation. Now, I know when you're in a scenario like in the hospital, you can't do that. But if you can think, especially in just, this, I used to wake up and feel anxious. And turning that around and going, you know what? Instead of I'm anxious about having to do something, I'm anticipating, okay, I get the opportunity to do this. And just that simple switch in your mindset can change your entire day.
But I mean, yes, but it is hard in some, especially, I quit smoking and I quit drinking both. And that anxiousness you feel, it's just like, it feels painful, right?
It can.
Yeah. And that's a hard switch to change because it's easier to go have a cigarette or have a beer than it is to sit and think through that.
And think and go, all right, I'm going to stop.
But as we've both learned, and you've taught me, it doesn't last forever.
No, it doesn't last that long.
And actually, if you sit in it, it lasts a lot shorter than you think it will.
Because
especially if you're shiny like me, I get on to the next thing in 5 minutes.
But if you do have a drink and you have this anxiety, all you're doing is tamping it down. You're just going to push it way down. Ball it up and push it way down deep. You're just going to push it down. Yeah. And then what's going to happen is tomorrow or the next day, it's there. You can't.
Maybe what you would call a cycle.
It is a cycle. But the other tip that you can do, can you hand me that little piece of paper that right there? This is a little notebook. It's called Energy Snags. What you can do, say you're feeling anxious about something coming up. Say you're sitting down, you've got to do something, but maybe you have other things that you need to get done during the day, but you're wanting to concentrate. Write it down. Go, okay, you know what? I'm gonna park this. I'm gonna take this thought. I'm gonna write it down. I have to do whatever it is. Write it down and put it off to the side. You know you can come back to this. So all you're doing is parking it. You're just saying, all right, I'm going to deal with that later. I'm going to focus on this right now.
That's why I make a lot of lists.
And it really helps when you do that. Just to say, okay, or even if it's something that's bothering you. Say you're stressed out about whatever, you know, and I don't know right now whatever that could be, but you know what? I've got to go see somebody I don't want to go see. Write it down.
I don't know. Pretty soon, probably medical bills.
Yeah. Oh, write it down. I mean, you can't move forward and get things done when you're stuck in worry.
Well, the other thing is sitting there worrying about things you can't control. It's like, you know, whether it's something that's just going to happen or something that has happened, it's like it happened or it's going to happen, you know, using the medical bills example, right? Like,
oh yeah, they're coming. I don't know what they're going to be.
I don't know what they're going to be, and you deal with it when it gets here, I guess. And it'll, you know. And
it will work it out. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Yeah. I mean,
have insurance. It's not going to be $1 million,
but still,
it
can be. I mean, it can still be really stressful with insurance.
True.
So anyway,
the stressful. It's the unknown. I think that's a lot of stressors become because of the unknown of whatever the outcome.
I mean, my past, I could be right now cycling through all the things that could happen or could have happened to Luke.
Right.
My past, when I was drinking, that's what I did. Oh my gosh, I would be freaking out. What if he doesn't do what the doctors say? What if something comes up and he ends up getting sick and it affects his heart? What if, and I would take myself down all those negative, horrible, everything to the worst possible outcome. Oh my gosh, it's going to happen. He's going to die. I mean, and you know that.
I know. I've been dead 100 times.
You would leave to go on a trip. My brain immediately would be like, plane's going down. Oh my gosh, I'm a widow. What am I going to do? I have to go back to work. All right. What am I doing? All right, I'm online. I'm like looking for a new job. I'm looking for jobs. What can I do? I mean, and we're laughing, but that is absolutely how my brain worked. And it worked that way for a long time. It worked like that really up until I went to therapy a few years ago. But it still would happen, but I could catch it better.
About tools.
It is. It is about tools. So anyways, for mindfulness, remember stop. S is for stop what you're doing. T, take a breath. O, observe. And then
feelings.
Your thoughts and feelings. And then proceed. Proceed with
something that will support. I like something that will support you in the moment.
Yes.
So something constructive.
Yes.
Is what I take from that.
Perfect.
So
anyways, I don't know. I hope people got something out of that. Let us know. Let us know if you did get something out of that.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Please let us know.
Stop right now and go.
Now and email us. I hope you're enjoying our new outro music. I lost the other file, so this is the new music. There you go. Very
I love
groovy.
it. It is groovy.
Amy, we have some upcoming interviews too, don't we?
Yes. So tomorrow.
Well, next week.
Next week.
Thank you.
episode 20.
Next week on episode 20.
We will be interviewing Terry Patterson. And we were actually on her show.
Oh, we
She
were?
is the she's the sober nutritionist. So that is very exciting. She's a senior This Naked Mind coach. And I'm really looking forward to that. We are going to be talking about the 4 tendencies.
4 tendencies.
So get ready, everybody. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a fun one.
Yes, because you won't have to listen to us the whole time.
Yeah, thank heavens. And to have me doing horrible
Words.
words.
Yeah, we'll lower
Pronounce.
We'll shrink our vocabulary.
We just
next
need
week.
to start putting down, like, okay,
pronounce it
this
for every
word.
word you want to come up with.
I guess. I hate that.
All right, kids. Well, if you want to provide feedback, you can just send it to Amy because that's easier. Amy@joyontheotherside.com. Of course, she's always there for all of your coaching needs.
And don't forget, you can get
Get
our
that 5 o'clock somewhere else.
5 o'clock somewhere, the alcohol-free edition.
Thank you. You can tell Amy put it together, not me. All right, kids. Well, I think that is it for us from the cornfields. I am Matt, along with the always lovely Coach Amy, wishing you peace and love from the cornfields. And we are
out.